Mr. Abraham.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Before I get to my questions, I certainly want to recognize the role that Louisiana plays in our space missions. New Orleans is home to the Michoud Assembly Facility where NASA is building the Space Launch System that Ms. Singer referenced and the Orion spacecraft. And I know everyone here realizes how critical this facility and the entire federal campus, including the NASA Business Development Center and the USDA National Finance Center, are to the federal government and to our mission to explore space. And for us in Louisiana, it's a source of pride. It's a major job provider. So we certainly just appreciate Michoud being there. And I want to acknowledge the fine work being done there to our country and to our space exploration. I was looking at the bios of on the panel. It amazes me on the space committee, or either the full committee or subcommittee, the intellect and the knowledge base. And you guys and ladies on that panel, you give us mere mortals a bad rep. I mean, it's like, yeah, it doesn't take a rocket scientist. Well, you guys are the rocket scientists that we are compared to. So, I do have a little bit of chip on my shoulder when my wife says it doesn't take a rocket scientist to change the light bulb. Mr. Cabana, is there anything you haven't done, sir? I mean, I'm looking at your resume and I'm just blown away at the accomplishments as I am. Anyone on the table. So just thanks for being here, and thanks for taking care of us on the space and exploration frontier. We certainly want to continue to lead as a country, as a nation, globally. We want to certainly command space in every form and fashion. And the only question I have, and I guess it'll be to all of you, and you can just go down the line, but I want to kind of pony on my good friend Mr. Lucas, leave off. What congressional action do we need to mitigate the feast or famine that we've had in the past, better leverage the resources that you have available, the workforces? What do we need to do as a Congress to make those centers even better than you guys are? Ms. Gerstenmaier, I'll start with you and just go down the line.
Sure. I think it's important that we have consistency and purpose, right, where we kind of keep our goals and objectives at a higher level, and then that allows us to continue to keep moving progress and move forward. It's hard when we start a program and we have to stop a program and then start another program. So if we get too specific a direction, it's difficult for us to implement under that. But I think good steady guidance, good financial support, other pieces are there.
So no CRs if we can help it.
Yeah, that would be nice if that happens. But we're prepared for those. But we can. But again, I think just consistency would be very important. I think we also see this as really the ultimate team sport. All of us can contribute in our own way, and each one of us have our own unique strengths. And by pulling all of us together with our diverse backgrounds, we can do amazing things. And I think we need congressional support. We need administration support as well. And we call you part of the spaceflight team.
We appreciate that, Mr. Geyer.
Yeah, thank you. And so I think it's great and appropriate to be held accountable for the work that we do, and I appreciate the opportunity to respond to that and talk about the work that we are doing, and on the transition report especially about putting together a well-thought-out and logical plan, having the opportunity to do that and show the rationale for the future, I would say is really, really important. And as Bill said, it's working together to make these come together. I would say, I just want to echo what you said about Orion. We found that the welding expertise in that location was world-class, and they did a terrific job on Orion, and will continue to do so.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ms. Singer, any comments on that?
I would second that from Michoud Assembly Facility. It's very near and dear to my heart. I've worked external tank for over 10 years, and it is
You're welcome to come over to the LSU side. You understand that, from the Bama side.
And I would tell you, too, thank you so much for y'all's bipartisan support. It makes a difference. When we have continuity of funding and continuous pressure, as Mark said, it's great for us to be held accountable, but it does make a difference in how we recruit and be able to get the next generation of folks that want to work on space and space program and exploration. Having that inspiration makes a big difference, too.
Mr. Cabana.
I think, as Mr. Gerstenmaier said, consistency in our direction, and we have that consistency in our funding. One of the things that the program that we've laid out, it's sustainable, and it's evolvable. It's something that doesn't need to be started over. Right? It's the right path forward to allow us to get back in cislunar space, to get to the moon, and eventually onto Mars as we evolve it. And having that continuity is going to be really important. I think continuing with the authorities that we have, especially looking at the Kennedy Space Center and what we've been able to do to commercialize the assets that we have through the Space Act agreements, enhanced use lease, and so on, is extremely important. And I know that our human resources folks are also looking at human resources initiatives that can help us better recruit and retain the workforce that we have, items such as direct hiring authority. So there are a number of things that can help us, and we're looking at that. And I would also say, sir, that Senator Glenn was 77 when he flew his last flight, and I'm still holding out hope.
I think you could qualify the physical right now. Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
You're welcome. Thank you.